Welcome to Dead Giveaway. I'm Billy.
And I'm Carley.
This is a two-part podcast. In episode 1, I will tell a true story, but change the names and locations to try and see if my true crime-obsessed wife can discover the truth.
In part 2, Billy reveals the answers, and we will discuss the details of the case. Will I get it wrong, or will it be a dead giveaway?
Hello, and welcome back.
Welcome back. It's Thursday.
It is Thursday, and we're happy to be here.
Yes.
Hope you guys have had a wonderful week. And welcome to part 2 of Carley's episode.
Yes, if you didn't listen to part 1, go back and listen so you don't get spoiler alerts. And also, you'll hear me talk about what a horrible decision I made when I was like, oh, it's your birthday this week. I'll do the episode so you don't have to worry about it.
Yes.
Nightmare.
But it's been fun, though. You did a really good job on that, by the way.
Oh my gosh.
You did really good.
It's so much work, you guys. So much work.
I'm waiting to see what you did as far as research goes in part 2, because I know you know what to look for. You kind of have a better grasp on the true crime stuff than I do.
Kind of, but I will tell you, once I started digging into it, there is so much contradictory information out there. Like I would read one article and then I would read something else and it would be completely different. I got into an argument with ChatGPT because I was asking it a question and it gave me like a completely different person that doesn't even exist in this story at all.
Yeah, you and my dad argue with AI. So y'all will be first on the list when Skynet takes over.
Oh, yeah.
No, Dad, tell it like, are you stupid?
That does sound like something your dad would say.
I'm like, Dad, it's an AI. Like, just
just move on. I know. I was getting so mad. I was like, we did get in a fight for a little bit. I was like sending ChatGPT links to articles that I read that proved it wrong. And it was like, actually, I was like, oh no, I'm done with you.
The guess that I gave on the last episode was
one of the older children. Okay.
I was going by the seat of my pantaloons on that.
Well, it's really hard to tell sometimes.
We're about to find out.
Okay.
All right.
So, the investigation into the death of Gary Triano on November 1st, 1996, at the La Paloma Country Club in Tucson, Arizona. So I didn't change a whole lot.
No, that's fine.
Revealed a calculated plot. The blast occurred at approximately 5:38 p.m. as Triano entered a borrowed Lincoln Town car.
Oh, borrowed.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
The force of the explosion was significant, causing immediate fatality and scattering debris across the club's parking lot. Pima County authorities, led by Sheriff Clarence Dupnick, I hope I said that right, initially noted
you usually try not to act like one of those.
Dupnick. Initially noted that the incident bore the characteristics of a professional hit, a method seldom seen in the local criminal activity at that time. Despite the intensity of the initial investigation, the case remained unsolved for several years, leaving Tucson community in a state of unease. Just a side note, in the United States, targeted assassinations using pipe bombs are very, very rare.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so nobody take that to heart. Like, don't...
Yeah, let's not change that fact. We like it that way.
Keep it that way. Yeah. Definitely.
So,
just a disclaimer.
Investigators determined that the device was not just a simple pipe bomb, but a complex remote detonated explosive that required technical expertise.
Okay, so it was a pipe bomb?
It was a pipe bomb.
But it was very technically...
Yes. So it wasn't just like a thrown together that you throw in the car and see what happens. Like first it was the placement. The bomb was positioned with surgical precision within the driver's side of Triano's borrowed Lincoln Town car to ensure maximum impact on the occupant while minimizing damage to the surrounding country club parking lot.
I mean, that's pretty spot on.
Right.
Who did he borrow the car from?
I looked into that. I couldn't find a specific person, but it said that because of his financial troubles, it was probably just like an associate or a friend.
Somebody that...
It wasn't like a rental car or anything like that. But I think he had been driving it for a bit. It wasn't like he just picked it up that morning.
Okay, so it's not like whomever he borrowed it from.
It's not like mistaken identity or anything like that. Yeah.
Well, I was more going for who did he borrow it from that could possibly still have access to the car.
Oh, true. Yeah. So next, the trigger mechanism. The discovery of sophisticated electronic components suggested the killer used a remote trigger, possibly a pager or a car alarm system, allowing them to detonate the bomb from a safe distance once they confirmed Triano was inside the vehicle. So safe enough to not be harmed, but close enough to be able to actually see when he's getting in so that they could set it off.
Yeah.
And then because the bomb was remote detonated rather than triggered by the ignition, investigators concluded that the killer was physically present, watching Triano walk out of the clubhouse and sit down before triggering the blast.
Okay. So are you going to
now we're going to get into the history.
Answer my question?
Which
was
is?
I right or wrong?
Oh, you can find out.
No, come on. You can't change it that much. I always tell you from the get-go if
Fine,
you were right
you
or
were wrong.
Okay.
Okay.
Who was it?
We'll get there.
Dadgummit, babe.
So, Gary Louis Triano was born on November 6, 1943 in Sacramento, California. He moved to Arizona to attend the University of Arizona, where he earned a degree in accounting. This technical background gave him a unique advantage. While he had the charm of a salesman, he possessed the fundamental knowledge to navigate complex tax codes and investment structures. By the 1970s, he had established himself in Tucson's burgeoning real estate market, moving from simple residential sales into the much more lucrative world of commercial development. By the mid-1980s, Gary had transcended the role of a traditional developer. He became a venture capitalist and consultant, specializing in high-stakes world of tribal gaming and international casinos. Gary was a fixture at the Tucson National and La Paloma country clubs. He understood that in Tucson's tight-knit business community, million-dollar deals were closed on the golf course rather than boardrooms. He was instrumental in early efforts to bring casino gambling to Native American lands in Arizona, and eventually set his sights on Aruba, where he attempted to develop a massive resort and casino project. This shift moved him into a world of international jurisdictions, diverse investor groups, and significantly higher risks. While Gary's professional star was rising, his personal life was undergoing a quiet but steady fracture. In the 1960s, he was married to Mary Cam. They had 2 children, and for a decade, they lived a life of a successful upper-middle-class family. However, friends and associates noted that as Gary's deals became more complex, his office became his primary home. By the early 1980s, the marriage to Mary could no longer sustain the pressure of Gary's burgeoning empire. The divorce was a turning point, and it marked the end of his accounting phase and the beginning of his socialite phase. So this is when he really,
kind of just
started making the money, started getting involved with all the
pulling away
high
from
and mighties.
his original family.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah. As Gary's lifestyle grew more extravagant, marked by luxury cars and high-dollar friendships, his relationship with his older children from his first marriage did begin to stall. He was increasingly focused on the next horizon, and the stability of his first family was effectively left in the rearview mirror as he transitioned into the next high-profile chapter. Pamela.
Anderson?
No. Phillips, actually.
Oh, okay.
When Gary...
Lesser known, but...
Yes, but still blonde. When Gary and Pamela married in October of 1986, they became fixtures of Tucson's elite, known for hosting lavish parties and rubbing elbows with high society. Pamela was a former model and a commercial real estate broker. They had 2 children together, and they were living the high life in Tucson. But Gary's financial standing was getting increasingly volatile. The Aruba venture, one of Gary's most ambitious projects, was a large-scale casino deal in Aruba. The venture involved complex international jurisdictions and high-dollar investor groups, but it eventually stalled due to legal disputes over ownership and money flow. Beyond that, Gary was pushed out of lucrative tribal gaming interest in Arizona. By 1993, he filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy, claiming debts between $27 to $40 million.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Was this his first...
bankruptcy?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Okay.
But this is when his marriage with Pamela began to shatter.
Because the money ran out.
Yeah. So, in 1993, they started the divorce. It was notoriously contentious, characterized by mutual hostility and multiple legal interventions. Pamela accused Gary of poor-mouthing, which is, I guess, like hiding his money. Or saying he's poor when he's not, I guess.
Okay.
Hiding millions in offshore accounts to avoid a fair settlement. In reality, Gary owed millions to various creditors, including $1.8 million to a single Las Vegas casino and hundreds of thousands to a group of Mexican investors.
Ooh, dang,
Yep.
buddy.
The split was marked by physical and verbal altercations. In 1993 alone, Pamela sought 3 separate restraining orders against Gary. In one 1994 incident, she was arrested for dumping a glass of water on him during a break in a court hearing.
Wow.
Yeah. Crucially, a $2 million life insurance policy remained a link between them. Purchased in 1992, the policy named their children as beneficiaries with Pamela as the trustee. Gary attempted to cancel the policy and remove Pamela's name, but because she was the technical owner, he could not make changes without her consent. Despite her claims of being nearly broke, Pamela continued to pay the premiums herself to keep the policy active, even through their bitter separation. Following their 1993 divorce, the relationship between Gary Triano and Pamela Phillips escalated from a personal split to a high-stakes financial war. While Gary's empire collapsed into $27 to $40 million in debt, Pamela's resentment centered on the belief that he was hiding wealth in offshore accounts to avoid a fair settlement. Although Pamela maintained connections in affluent circles like Orange County, she primarily relocated to Aspen, Colorado, to rebuild her career as a high-end real estate broker.
I mean, that's a shame to move to a little hovel like Aspen.
Oh, I know. The real estate market there's got to be horrible.
I mean, it's a step up from Vail, I guess.
So, in Aspen, Pamela moved into a duplex and attempted to launch a series of businesses, including an astrology venture called Star Babies and a mail order business, neither of which were very profitable.
Star Babies.
You know what? I should have looked up Star Babies to see what it actually was because that's so funny.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm going to Google it right now.
Google it.
I have to see because,
I mean,
oh my God.
You may not be able to find anything because this was a while ago, but.
Oh my God. One of the first things was Pamela Phillips, Star Babies Pamela Phillips.
Oh, what does it say?
Okay, I got to see this. This is from May 30th, 2014. Oh God. Oh, I might. It was Pamela, a once prominent Aspen socialite convicted of first-degree murder. I figured it out. It was Pam.
Dang it.
Damn it, Pam. You did it.
Get off your phone.
I was looking up Star Babies, and this is what it pulled up. Just kind of goes on to say that she had a failed business venture in Star Babies.
Oh.
It doesn't say exactly what it was.
Okay, well.
Oh, my God. That's hilarious.
I'm going to move on then.
Babies.
I know. I love it, actually.
That's really funny.
Despite her business failures, she stayed entrenched in high society. She was close friends with Joy Bancroft, the wife of Dow Jones owner Hugh Bancroft, who even helped Pamela by co-signing loans and later paying some of the premiums on Gary's life insurance policy when Pamela's own finances dwindled down.
Holy crap.
Yep. So,
jeez.
She also, during her time in Aspen, began a relationship with Robert, who went by Bob Young, a developer and a businessman who had ties to the R.J. Reynolds tobacco fortune.
Dang.
Yes. This connection allowed her to regain the stable, luxurious lifestyle she had grown accustomed to during her marriage with Gary. Crucially, it was also through these Aspen circles that she met Ronald Young, who's not related to Robert Young, by the way.
Okay.
This man is who she would eventually hire to execute her husband in the 1996 car bombing.
Dang.
Yes. So,
Ronald McDonald at it again, dadgum.
Ronald Young, described as an obsessive record keeper, secretly recorded dozens of hours of telephone conversations between himself and Pamela Phillips. They think he was doing it so that he could hold her to what she said and use it as kind of like leverage so she couldn't back out of the deal or whatever.
Okay.
Investigators found these recordings along with emails and financial spreadsheets in Young's residence, storage units, and a hotel room after he was arrested in 2005 in Florida on unrelated charges.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
So they were able to just connect the dots.
Because they were searching for, I think it was, I want to say either embezzlement or some type of fraud, but he was on an episode of America's Most Wanted for those charges. They arrested him in Florida and then they searched and found all of this stuff. So,
all right, Florida, you've been listening.
And you got Ronald Young. Good job.
Yeah.
So prosecutors argued that Young made the tapes as insurance to ensure Phillips paid him $400,000. The defense countered that Young was an extortionist who used the threat of murder investigation to squeeze Phillips for money to protect her reputation in Aspen.
So in that, did they ever find concrete back and forth of her saying she wanted him to commit the murder?
Yeah. So in 2003, in a 2003 recording, nearly 7 years after the murder, Young was heard warning Phillips, "You're going to be very serious when you sit in a women's prison for murder." And in another, he explicitly tells her, "I have a need. You have my principal. I want a little bit so I can proceed." While the two often spoke in code to avoid detection, they exhaustively discussed financial installments. Philip expressed deep anxiety in one recording, telling Young, "This is like a nightmare. I can't deal with this. I'd rather die." And Young told her, "The only nightmare is in your head." Beyond the audio, Young's digital files provide a forensic blueprint of the $400,000. Investigators found a detailed spreadsheet on Young's computer showing a $400,000 loan that Phillips was paying back with 4% interest. Prosecutors proved Phillips paid Young exactly $400,000, which is 20% of the $2 million life insurance that she received after Gary's death. To avoid detection, Phillips withdrew the funds from multiple banks, and she used Federal Express to ship cash to Young. A forensic accountant testified that these payments were consistent with the amortization schedule found on Young's computer. So he was keeping track of it. She was paying it. It all matched up.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
His meticulous, obsessive need to keep that record is insane.
Yes. So the pursuit of justice for the murder of Gary Triano spanned nearly 18 years, marked by an international manhunt and significant legal hurdles. Ronald Young, the hitman hired by Pamela Phillips, was apprehended in Florida in 2005, like I said, on unrelated fraud charges. His arrest revived the stagnant investigation when authorities discovered a hitman's kit in a van he had rented containing divorce records for Phillips and Triano and a map of Tucson.
Holy crap.
In March 2010, a jury found Young guilty of first-degree murder and conspiracy.
Okay, so back up just a second.
Yeah.
Okay, we're 18 years.
18 years after the murder.
Okay, and he still has that kit
So
in
no,
the van?
that was something they found originally,
But they didn't know
but
who
they
to
couldn't
place
do
it
anything
to?
with it because they didn't know. Yeah, they didn't know. Like,
But now they know that
Now they
belonged
know it
to
was him,
Okay, so
yeah.
this wasn't 18 years later they found it in.
no,
Okay,
they found the
that.
van. Yeah,
Okay.
they found the van.
I was going to say, bro,
during the original-
this dude is like...
I know, look, crazy,
like a...
hoarder.
Yeah.
hoarder
like
of horrible things.
a murder for
Yeah.
hire hoarder. Like, good Lord.
Don't hire this guy.
Yeah. Well, you can't now.
That's true.
I don't know,
So
maybe.
he was initially sentenced to 2 life terms, but on appeal, his sentence was adjusted to 25 to life. Pamela Phillips fled the United States in September of 2008.
Did she go to Aruba?
She did not. That would have been real dumb.
Yeah.
Just a month before her formal indictment. She lived an affluent life abroad, eventually moving to Vienna, Austria. In December of
Wonderful
2000.
sausages.
Ooh, no. In December of 2009, Austrian police detained her at an upscale hotel following an Interpol red notice related to money laundering allegations in Liechtenstein. After a year-long legal battle, she was extradited to Tucson in July of 2010 per the extradition treaty with Austria. The death penalty was taken off the table. Phillips' trial was delayed for years due to her mental health. In December of 2011...
Was this because of the failure of Star Babies?
It could be. That was
Okay.
her downfall. She was ruled mentally incompetent to stand trial. However, doctors determined she could be restored to competency, and following treatment at the Pima County Jail, a judge ruled her competent to proceed in October of 2012. Trial lasted 7 weeks in 2014, focusing on the definitive money trail. Prosecutors presented recording telephone conversations, emails, financial records that were kept by Young that detailed the payments totaling $400,000 sent by Phillips. These payments were framed as Young's commission for the murder, funded by the $200 million life insurance payout Phillips collected. In April of 2014, the jury delivered a guilty verdict on both counts. On May 22, 2014, Phillips was sentenced to natural life in prison without the possibility of parole for the first-degree murder, plus 25 years for conspiracy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
So
I mean, that's a lot of money.
that's a
being
lot of
around
money.
there. And her connections are insane. Okay, so you've got, I mean, heir to a tobacco fortune. You've
Right.
got the Dow Jones. Like, that's insane.
Yeah. She was
My
she was
God.
moving in very high circles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that blows my mind.
Yeah.
So I guess Aspen was a good choice.
Yeah. It just, to me, it's so crazy that you paid somebody to murder him and you're paying the
Right.
hitman with the insurance money that you're collecting from his
mur-
death.
From his death, yeah.
Which I guess probably happens, but
I mean, yeah, that's so sad too. So what ended up happening with their kids that he had with
I
her?
don't know
Did he
that.
actually have 2 kids
they
with
did
her?
have 2
Okay.
kids, yes.
So you don't know what became
I
of them?
don't know.
What happened to his older kids?
Well,
Like,
I
did
mean,
they-
if it took 18 years, They were grown and out of the house by the time she was arrested.
Right.
So,
I always, like you, I'm just curious.
I do
what
know
happened with the
that
family.
his son from his first marriage was somehow involved. I can't remember the details of it, but he was talking to Pamela or something and started getting suspicious, and so he went to the police about it.
Okay.
I don't know the
him,
details of it, but I do know that he was somehow involved in bringing her to light, I guess you would say.
Well, good for him, man.
Yeah.
No, I was not familiar with this one.
You know what? Honestly, neither was I.
Really?
Yeah, I was Googling, I just wanted to find something that was different.
Yeah.
Pipe bomb. You don't hear that every day.
No.
So.
You don't.
Yeah.
Man. Well, I was way off.
Welcome to the club.
It seemed obvious that was where it was going.
Right.
Was her and James.
And you thought I was trying to throw you off.
Karen and James, which is actually Pamela and Ronnie. I just thought, okay, off the cuff, what would be the most bizarre thing? But
That's what I need to do, is one that has a killer that you would never suspect.
That's what I try to do.
It's like the grandma sitting in the corner in the rocking chair. They didn't even interview her.
Speaking of that,
that
just made me think of that show we watched.
What?
His and Hers.
Oh, yeah.
With John Bernthal.
Yes.
So good. If you guys haven't seen it, you've got to watch it.
Yeah, it's really good. But don't listen to what we just said.
Such a killer twist. You won't see it coming unless you're me.
Also, it's not a grandma rocking in the corner.
I called it from
he did
the first episode. Yeah. I was like, that's it. That's who it is.
He does that a lot, though. It's really annoying.
But I didn't do it with this one.
No.
But no, I tried too hard to be different. Yeah.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I am not the creative one in this relationship, so it's very difficult for me.
You did fine. No, this was good. I mean, this was the format. You did wonderful. You did it. You pulled it off. It took a week, but you did it.
It took me crying at my computer, asking you constantly, how do you do this? How do you do this? What about this? How do I get this right format? He was probably like, okay, just forget it. I'm going to do it myself.
Well, it was hilarious because you were in your office working, and was it today that I was out in the garden when you came out, or was that was yesterday?
It was yesterday.
But you came out, and I was like, "Are you all right?" And you were like, "I'm like brain dead."
I was like, my brain hurts. I just can't do this anymore.
What are you doing? It's not.
And it's not like I don't work all day every day normally, but I don't know. It was just a lot of
you were
back
in your
and
head
forth.
about it.
Yeah.
Listen, on the first episode, she started sweating from nerves. It was hilarious.
Okay.
You did it. You did it.
All right.
You're good. Babe.
Thank you.
It was
so,
wonderful.
As always, we usually have a reference to
a resource.
The one I found, I tried to keep it local since we were in Tucson. The Arizona Voice for Crime Victims.
Ooh.
Their mission is to ensure that crime victims receive their rights to justice, due process, and dignified treatment throughout the criminal justice process. To achieve this purpose, they provide pro bono legal representation, social services, training and education, and technical assistance. Their vision is to establish a compassionate justice system in which crime victims are informed of their rights, fully understand those rights, know how to assert their rights, have a meaningful way to enforce those rights, and know how to seek immediate crisis intervention if they become the victim of a crime. They have a website. It is voiceforvictims.org. And we'll link that in the show notes.
Yeah,
or something.
Just scroll down. It'll be in the show notes.
So anyways, I think that's a great resource because sometimes when you are the victim, you don't know what your rights are or what the process is or what you're supposed to do next. You're just kind of in limbo. So I think that's a great resource.
Pro bono legal representation is huge too. Because
even somebody just to call and say,
the astronomical cost of having an attorney is insane.
There are people who go bankrupt.
Yeah.
And this is for victims, not, you know what I mean? It's not like a defense attorney, but still.
It's still like, you still have to go to court, still have to go through all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And if you do have to have an attorney, something like that that's huge. That's a massive thing.
Yeah.
So good on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting.
Well, cool. I've never heard of that. I like that you tied that in local too. That was good.
Yeah.
I like that. Good job.
Thank you.
Again, that link is going to be in the show notes. Just scroll down. The rest of our links are going to be down there as well. You'll find our socials. If you want to email us a resource that you think would be awesome to shout out or one that you want us to shout out, please email us at deadgiveawaypodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
We would be more than happy to start including some from you guys And yeah, just our Patreon's there too. If you get a wild hair or want to support the show.
We would love that. We're waiting for a couple of Patreons, and then we're going to start releasing little mini episodes.
Yes,
so,
those are coming.
Yeah.
And again, if you guys would leave us a review, just scroll down, leave us a review. That would help us tremendously.
5-star minimum.
You guys are already awesome for listening.
Yes.
Thank you for giving us your time. You're amazing.
Also, don't forget to send an email. Tell Billy happy birthday.
Oh, yeah. Thanks. And also tell Carley that she did a wonderful job because that was awesome. It was a nice break for me this week. And,
and I will wait until next birthday to do this again.
Oh, no. I think it was really good. I think you need to do this, I think once a month. I think
No.
Yeah.
No, I can't sweat like this often.
The more you do this, the better it gets, honestly.
Well,
and plus, we're just talking to each other.
I know.
We don't, I overcome my fears by imagining you in your underwear. So that's how I overcome my nerves.
Well, that's not helpful for me because you actually are sitting there in your underwear.
No, I am not. These shorts are just really short. I didn't realize I put yours on today.
Oops. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, we will see you guys next week, and we appreciate you being here. Thank you for your patience and listening to me.
You did good.
We'll see you guys in a couple of days.
We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
It's like when you go to have one of those phone calls with somebody that you don't normally talk to, but at the end you accidentally be like, I love you too.
Oh,
or like,
yeah.
I love you.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh no.
I've done that at work before.
Have you really?
Yeah. And sometimes I answer my personal phone with my office, like how I have to answer the phone at work.
You've done that to me.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Bye.
Oh, are we still talking? Okay. Bye.